So once again, Hoop fans, Lori Shepard coming to you.
We're going to talk a lot about fantasy football rankings. I want to give the biggest shout out to high school sports.
Belly cut the defender, gets the ball, and it falls at the buzzer!
We are in. Welcome into 4 quarters.
On a Monday.
I feel like I'm echoing.
I am echoing also. Hello, hello.
On a Monday. We haven't been on in a Monday. Is it 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks. Well, welcome in to the huddle on 4 quarters Facebook page and aired out Facebook page brought to you live on Fly on the Wall production. And it is a wrap on the NFL regular season.
And what a season it was.
And
Insane.
what a season it was.
And it really was.
Insane.
Like, I don't remember a season such as a roller coaster like that
Yeah.
in a long time, where you just literally, as our pick 6 shows,
Yeah.
Yep.
you just
love
couldn't
it.
pick a winner.
I love it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it was a crazy end of the season. It was fun, and the fun has just begun. And in less than an hour and a half, the kickoff of the national championship game.
Huskies.
Which we will. I can't believe I forgot my Michigan
go
hat.
Huskies!
Awful. We'll do our predictions at the end of the show. But do you guys remember when the CFP came out and you said Bama, I said Washington, and we stared at CB and we go, just take Michigan?
Yeah.
So CB's in the driver's seat. I don't know if I can pick. We'll pick it at the end, but I don't know if I can pick Washington.
I was
okay.
peer
But I
pressured.
have to stick with who my gut was telling me.
Yeah.
But
It's all right.
anyway,
You can change it.
I just want a good game.
That's all
just
I want,
Yeah,
too.
a
yeah.
Really,
Same.
really good.
Do we know
football
what
game.
channel this is on?
I don't know, but I feel like
I hope it's not ABC, because I still do not get ABC.
I don't think so.
We're gonna not do shout outs tonight. We're gonna do some headlines. And first off, I'm going to start out with some high school scores like I always do. I'm going to back up to the weekend. I'm not going to go a week back. But on Saturday, we had the rematch of one of the semifinal games in Division II girls basketball. We had a rematch on Saturday over at Harwood, where it was the North Country Falcons, the defending state champs, knocking off the undefeated Harwood Highlanders 50-35. Of those 50 points, Maya Ogier and Sabine Bruick combined for 37.
Just
a
another
very
day.
cool, yeah, just
Another
day at the
Saturday
office.
in North Country.
Quinn Nelson, 12 points, led the Highlanders. And I have no doubt I'm not much of a gambler, but I know high school sports pretty well, and I expect to see these two at the Berry Odd for the Final Four.
I would have to agree.
March?
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw
Very much
Harwood
so.
play Spalding
Yep.
last week. Quinn Nelson's tough to guard, man. She's 6'something.
She's smooth.
Oh, my God.
There was one point where, well, if you're not going to get a body on her,
Yeah.
her putbacks are going to be half her point.
Right.
But she did a drop step to the left side and laid it up with her left hand, which sometimes kids still try to go to their right. And it was as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I was
So smooth.
I mean, I sat there and went, that was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
I appreciate good basketball.
Yep.
They met in last year's semifinal. There's a lot of history there. You know, we talk about the mental side of sports. So the same cast of characters that take the basketball court for both clubs were leading their soccer teams this past fall as well. And Harwood was on that huge roll. 9-game winning streak. And it was stopped by Bruick, Ogier, and goal, and the North Country Falcons.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history building up between these two schools, and can't wait to see as we're not even at the halfway point. Friday night big rivalry game was the Montpelier High School Solons boys basketball team over the U32 Raiders, 75-48. Led by Carson Cody's 21 points. That puts the Solons up to 5-3. They started out 0-3
Right, because they played
against
the
all the
Division
D1.
Yep.
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 5-0 in their last 5 games. And the other big boys basketball game was the Thetford Panthers, and the Hazen Wildcats, who will also be at the Berry
Oh, they will
Odd.
100% be. Yes.
And it was Thetford over the Hazen Wildcats, 56-54. Thetford is 7-0 on the season.
And I think that went overtime, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
that was Hazen's first loss.
Yep.
Actually, I'm not sure. Did it go into
I
OT?
believe so. I could be wrong.
I
but
know
I got
that
info
Hazen, Coach Hill, who is one of the best in Vermont, his comment was, we had a 3-point lead with 45 seconds to go, and we lost it. 45 seconds in basketball is an eternity anyway. But we will learn from this.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and they will.
Yeah, and 45 seconds in high school basketball is literally an eternity because there's no
eternity.
shot clock.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And
yeah.
there's going to be timeouts, and there's going to be fouls, and there's
Yep.
going to be this. The Williamstown Blue Devils, who we've been talking a lot about, the girls with a 60-38 win over BFA Fairfax. Destiny Campbell leading the way with 16 points. They are 5-1 on this season. They will be playing Twinfield Cabot tomorrow night in another rivalry game. The Williamstown boys with a 75-25 win over Northfield. Three players on the Blue Devils in double digits. They bump up to 5-3 on the season, and we haven't had hockey in a while. We've got Maddox Heiss with a hat trick, his third of the season, leading the U32 Raider boys to a 9-1 win over Northfield. That improves the Raider boys to 4-1 on the year. They are the defending champs. For the Spalding boys, it was Evan Peliquin with 2 goals in a tie 3-3 game with CVU. That puts the Crimson Tide to 2-3-2 on the season. And over at Harwood, it was a 5-3 boys win over Missisquoi with Milo Lavitt with 2 goals, 2 assists, and that improves the Highlanders to 5-3 on the year. And girls hockey, we have the Spalding Crimson Tide with Lily Mayo, who scored the winning goal with 3.7 seconds left in regulation to give the Crimson Tide a 3-2 win over CVU Mount Mansfield combo. And that bumps the Lady Crimson Tide to 4-2 on the year. And rounding out high school sports, we've got the U32 Raider girls hockey team with a 10-1 victory over Brattleboro to improve to 4-5 on the year. Hannah Drury had 4 goals in that game. This was their 3rd straight win, so they're on a bit of a roll themselves, and their 3rd straight win in 12 days.
Wow.
And the goals in those 3 wins, 28-3.
Wow, very nice. Nicely done.
Wow.
Nicely done.
Wow. Wheels, you got a Caitlin Clark
Well,
sighting?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I wish I had a Caitlin Clark sighting. I mean, that would be great, but no.
I don't know if you'd know what to say to her.
I wouldn't.
I mean, you might surprise yourself. You might surprise
I'd like to
yourself.
think that I would be professional and sophisticated and all this stuff.
Sophisticated,
But
CB.
really, I'd probably sound like an idiot.
Well, you know what they say, never meet your hero.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I'd probably just look at her and be like,
I met Pat
Caitlin.
Summit, and I
Hi.
did that.
Yeah. Like, you have like all these things you want to ask your hero or all these things you want to ask somebody that you just respect and whatever. And I feel like I'd look right at her and just be like, hi, Caitlin. You're a good shooter.
That's what you would say. You're a good shooter, and she'd be
you're a
like,
good shooter.
"No shit, I'm a good shooter." Jesus.
Boy, no one's ever told me that before. That's probably what she'll say. That's a good one. Anyway, Caitlin, I know you're watching. An update on her progress. Friday night, she scored 29 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds for her 14th career triple-double. She is now 309 points away from the all-time score in women's college basketball.
And Wheels is not a Kelsey Plum fan.
No.
So there might be a party thrown. You're going to hear her
Yes.
hooting and hollering when this record does go by the wayside.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So,
I mean, if Kelsey Plum's listening, she's going to say to you, listen, do you see how many WNBA titles I have now?
and I'm going to tell her.
Do you want to get in a war of words with her?
No, because she's scary.
Then
There
it is.
No, she scares me. She's got a little feistiness to her, Plus, she's got all those aces behind her. I can't do it.
She's a big Aces fan too.
Nah.
You know what I should have done with the 6-pack of picks? I should have said, if I top Wheels in it, she has to wear Las Vegas Aces attire.
That would have been a good
That would
one.
have been a good
It
one.
would have, and we didn't even say who's.
We didn't put a wager
still,
on
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
we still got a week to
That
go.
would have been painful. Very painful
It
for
would have
me.
been. You had to wear it for an hour. Headlines. You got any headlines?
With video evidence.
Got any headlines? We'll talk about Black Monday in the second half, third quarter, fourth quarter, so we won't go there. I've got a shout out to Puka. How come I just said his name wrong? Puka Nakua.
Puka.
Because we haven't talked enough about him.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
And he broke 2 rookie records yesterday.
Yep.
And the first one, the yardage, was from the 60s. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Grossman. I don't even have the poor man's first name. But 1,486 receiving yards. Jalen Waddle owns the reception mark, and that was, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yep.
So with 4 catches, 41 yards, and a TD, he has 105 and 1,486, both rookie records. Celebrated with mom, celebrated with a victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honest to God, you guys, be honest here.
Who knew him?
Yeah.
Did we think the Los Angeles Rams were going to have 10 wins?
No.
Nope.
I'm not sure, CB. It was you and I before Wheels came on board. I don't even know if we talked about the Rams.
No, not at all.
We talked about the Niners.
Yeah.
And maybe the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I got to give a little headline to Les Snead, who's the general manager, because do general managers get any good plugs? No, they don't. They're expected to do their job, and that's that. He traded for Matthew Stafford, gave up a couple of first-round picks, a first and a second. The Rams haven't had a first-round pick in 3 years.
Right.
But they have built through the draft.
Yep.
Nakua, 5th round. 43rd in 5th round.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a pickup.
With all the supplemental picks in it. So that's the end of the 5th round. So
Right.
you might almost say he was kicked into round 6 almost.
Right.
So he was picked in the 5th round. The year before, again in the 5th round, Kyron Williams, who if I'm doing a fantasy draft tomorrow, I'm drafting him.
100%.
I'm like, in the 5th round. So he's building his team through the draft, but we're talking 3rd round and later. He really hasn't had a first round pick in the longest time. And he's a heck of a GM as well. And we don't give him enough headline shout out. I will give one huge shout out. It's to Michael Strahan. Dude, you cracked me up so bad yesterday. I really don't listen to Fox Sports or the pregame much. I really don't. I'll catch the games as they're going along. But I had him, Terry Bradshaw, Howie, the crew on. And they were talking about the Giants. And he said, well, they could still go to Danny DeVito. And I turned and I went, and he goes, oh, I mean, Tommy DeVito. And I go, I think he's been listening to Wheels too much.
He has.
Twice he
that.
said
You're
Danny
welcome, America.
DeVito.
You're welcome.
I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. I'm going, and then he did it again. And it was by accident. I go, well, Wheels does it on purpose.
Right.
But, he was all Danny DeVito'd up yesterday. And I'm
Love
like,
it.
I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe he just said that. Unbelievable. Headline, Bill Belichick coached his 429th game as a Patriots coach yesterday.
That is, wow.
From September 3rd, the year is 2000.
Wow.
That's sick.
That is sick.
Wow.
And then my next headline is the Jets and their 15-game losing streak against the New England Patriots. I mean, it was a brutal game. I tried. Yeah. Did you guys try to watch it?
No.
I tried. I tried so hard. And then I'd go away, and then I'd go back. I'm like, I can't. I just can't do it.
I mean, I chose to watch the Jags game instead, but that was just as bad.
That was brutal.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
That was brutal.
I know we'll talk about it later, but wow.
That was brutal.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was very, very brutal. And I will always give credit where credit is due, but you know this, even though it was CB stuck with me at the beginning where I was all
in.
Yeah.
All in because they ended that season, previous season, with that come from behind over the Chargers. Lawrence looked like he took the next step. And I saw such maturity in that comeback win that, I mean, and it's right there for the taking.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
in that division for sure.
The Titans held the Jags out of the playoffs.
Yep.
The Titans took away the AFC East from Miami.
Yep.
I mean, those 6 wins there were some good wins in there.
Yep.
There really were. So,
Yep.
a big shout out to the Tennessee Titans. You were talking about bonuses, which was fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
People
Joe
made some
Mixon
money.
got a TD yesterday that gave him $350,000 more dollars.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins did exactly.
Yep.
He got the yardage and the catches.
Did he get
for a cool $500,000?
$500,000, right?
Yeah, because he didn't get the
each.
touchdowns.
Just
Yeah.
250
Right.
each.
Get the touchdown.
Yep.
So he got a cool $500,000. And Baker Mayfield is just piling it up.
Yeah.
An NFC South title. I heard 1 million, I heard 1.5, and I heard 2. So I'm like, I'm going to go with 1.5, the first one I read. So a cool $1.5 million for beating the Carolina Panthers 9-0.
9-0.
Or was it 12-0? I think I digress and lose
I
track
don't
on
know.
that one.
Whatever
9.
it was
I think it was 9.
ugly. Chris Jones got his too because he got his sack,
Chris Jones.
and his
got
teammates went nuts, which was awesome. I just loved it.
Big headline, the ambassador to Nike since 1996. Tiger Woods and Nike have ended their relationship.
Wow.
When I say Tiger Woods, you see black pants, red polo shirt, Nike with the Nike hat.
Yep. Always.
I mean, always and forever.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to
It's a Sunday
think
red.
about.
Yep.
Draymond Green
Back.
back, about to play in a week. He considered retiring. Did anybody hear that?
I did. I
He
heard
probably should have.
that. I heard that today. But then again, he's very dramatic. So I'm thinking it was like one of those.
He considered retirement, but Commissioner Adam Silver convinced him to rethink it and not be harsh judgment. He told Commissioner Silva, I told him, this is too much for me. This is too much. It's all becoming too much for me, and I'm going to retire. What's becoming too much?
Right.
Trying to be a decent human being?
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
hard,
didn't
guys.
know.
Like
so hard.
going to anger management classes. Like it's not like people do it every day. Like
Don't
You're
punch people in the
making-
face.
yeah.
Yeah, right. You're making a very rash decision, and I won't let you do that, is what Commissioner Silver said, which good for him. So they had a very long conversation. Commissioner Silver put it in perspective. I'm giving the headline to Commissioner Adam Silver for reaching out and trying to keep these egos
Right.
in check, because that is exactly what he is
That's tough.
doing.
Yeah.
And that is what he has
That is.
been
I
doing.
wouldn't want that job, man. No
Right?
way.
Right. My favorite part of this weekend, and I know we'll talk more about football in the second half of 4 quarters, but Coach Ryans, and C.J. Stroud, there's 5 of them since 1970, rookie head coach and rookie quarterback that have been to the playoffs.
Yep.
And obviously they top the list. This is the first time, though, in 11 years. 2012 was the Colts and Chuck Pagano and Andrew Luck. God, Andrew Luck was a heck of a quarterback.
He was.
Walked
Wow.
away
What
from it
a
all.
yeah.
2009, you guys are going to love this one. Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez.
Oh God.
Love it. 2008 there was 2. Mike Smith of the Falcons, Coach Smith, and Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Nice,
All
nice.
And also that same year was John Harbaugh and Joe Flacco. And we talk about 2008 Joe Flacco, and now
Right.
we got 2024.
That's amazing.
That is
Joe
amazing.
Flacco.
That is so cool.
I mean, I'm not going to bet against Cleveland.
Oh,
Browns.
100%.
No, not at all.
No way.
Not at all.
I'm not going to. I
No.
can't. I just can't do it. Pau Gasol. I gave CB a picture of this wonderful, wonderful NBA player, and that was back when NBA was played the right way.
Yes. Agreed.
They retired his number 16 to the rafters for Pau Gasol, and what a heck of a player. Him and Kobe Bryant were the best of buds. Gasol was Kobe's sidekick. And just the emotion on his face, a heck of a player that just came and did his job every day. And you can see the emotion in the picture as his number 16 is right next to number 8 and number 24 of Kobe Bryant, right above Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Pretty decent place to be. Right there.
Not bad company.
No.
And back in the days growing up, they always had a sidekick that just gelled, and that was Kobe's sidekick.
Yep.
They gelled. You know, Gasol was what Pippen was to Jordan.
Yep.
What James Worthy was to Magic. What McHale or Parrish were to Larry Bird. And it's just neat to see those numbers retired, because these are important players. You're not going to do it alone in the game of basketball.
Nope.
And as much as I love watching Michael Jordan, I really liked Scottie Pippen too. He was fun.
Yeah, he was fun.
I like
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
He was
Kerr
fun.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a fun team. It was
Yep.
just a really fun team. Jake Browning headline, who filled in for Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I am one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. And I know that the guy I took the place of is a top 5. So, and it's out of my hands because he's still under contract, but he would like to be traded.
Well then.
Okay.
I mean,
you got a little guy with confidence, right?
A lot of confidence.
He's got the momentum. His stock is high, so
his stock is incredibly high. So we'll see. He is an exclusive rights free agent, which means the Bengals could keep him with a league minimum salary.
Ooh.
He would probably like that to change
Yes,
as well.
I'm sure.
Or they could trade him to another team. And he knows going forward, it's out of his hands. He has no control. But he did play well for the Bengals.
He did.
Yeah.
He just wanted an opportunity, and he got it. So now he wants to push it forward. Or is it pay it forward? I don't know what it is. I have to talk baseball because I love to talk baseball because then Wheels gives me a funny look. But the other thing with Coach Ryans and the Houston Texans, I just love the fact that he went back home.
Yeah.
An Alabama Crimson Tide ball player drafted in 2006, the 33rd pick, the first pick in round 2 by the Houston Texans. I just love stories like that. And I'm sorry, he's just one of those guys you want to play for.
Yes, agreed.
I was reading an article on what the money that's been spent during the hot stove off season. And what jumped out at me is the New York Yankees, zero,
Guys.
Nothing.
All you
have
haters.
done nothing.
Zero.
Have traded away, what, 6 pitchers at
Good
this
job,
point?
Yankees.
Something like that?
Good job.
Look at us not just throwing out millions of dollars.
Not throwing
for nothing.
money, just not tossing it away.
Maybe we're turning over a new leaf, CB, and we're just going to not spend anything.
Yep.
Yankees
See
zero.
what happens.
I like this. Cincinnati Reds, $106 million.
Get it.
Good for them.
What? Cardinals, $100 million. The Royals, $105 million.
Shocking.
I didn't
They've
even think
spent
they
so
had
far-
$105 million.
Right.
Shocking.
I mean,
Is
this
that
is
like
all subject to
triple
change.
their payroll
Right?
last year?
That's what I'm
Something like
saying.
that.
Phillies, $172 million.
Ugh.
They're going to keep spending.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Mets, $29.3. Thank God they're not spending any money. Miami Marlins, $0, to be expected.
Yep.
Shocker.
$1.043 billion.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. But that
Hot dogs are
wait.
going to be about $35 there
Can't
this year.
wait for them to choke again
right.
and
Yeah.
get beat by
It's
the
true.
Phillies.
Yeah.
Every year we say it. We
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
When we were doing our predictions,
I knew
Wheels,
it.
you just kept saying, well, I can't pick them because they're going to choke.
They're going to choke.
Yep.
But it's funny looking at the NL West. So we just talked about the Dodgers, over $1 billion. Arizona Diamondbacks, $122 million. And the San Francisco Giants, $122 million.
Good for them.
That's a lot of coin being spent,
a lot of
subject to
coin.
change. Who knows? We'll see because there's still some. Wheels is saying Blake Snell to the Yankees.
To the Yankees.
And that wouldn't surprise me at all because even
We need 'em.
Blake's,
They
Blake,
need it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need them.
Yeah.
And he is also saying he would like to go there.
He
'cause
would.
He
Yep.
knows where the money is.
Yeah, he does. And his buddy's there now,
Did
right?
you
So-
see what's his face who wanted to come? The Mets pitcher who wanted to come to the Yankees, and the Yankees were like, no, thanks.
Is he still on the Mets? Or he used
no,
to pitch for the
he
Mets?
used to.
All
I
right.
can't remember who it was.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it was just impressive to see zero. under
Zero,
the Yankees.
right?
I was like, good for you guys. I mean,
I'm actually happy with that number, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because
you're like, who would
who-
we, if
who
it
would we?
wasn't going to be Yamamoto or
Ohtani.
Right.
then
why throw it away?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Why
So
throw it
I'm
away?
very proud of them.
And if they signed Snell, who he just makes me nervous because he's hurt all the time, but we could say that about anybody.
Right.
That would give him 3 solid
Yes.
pitchers in that rotation. And, you know what, CB, you got a Wednesday. You got to show the people what Giancarlo Stanton looks like.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because
Marcus
we do
Stroman.
think-
Oh, yeah.
Stroman.
He
yeah,
wanted to
pitched
come
for
to
the
the
Cubs.
Yankees, yeah.
Has he signed? He hasn't signed, has he?
No. He
Yeah.
wants to play for the Yankees. The Yankees are like, no thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah.
I would say no thanks to him as well. I really would. So that's all my headlines I got. In case you guys got anything?
Real quick, we have some fun back and forth in the chat between
Love it.
Michael Orton and Garrett Sicily. So I'll start with the first one. Hey, Shep, I will see you tomorrow night by
Okay.
Michael Orton.
See you, Orty. Can't wait.
The Commanders have the second pick. Who do they take?
Oh, Orty, you are such a patient Washington fan,
yeah.
just like me with the Dolphins.
They need a quarterback, in my opinion, but
I watched Sam Howell play yesterday. My first question is, who's going to be the coach?
correct.
Yeah.
My second thing is new owner Josh Harris is going to go out and he's going to bring in a mega team.
Yep.
He really is. And he started, I digress, Orty, but you're going to love this. He signed to oversee football operations Bob Myers. Now, that name might not ring a bell to anybody. And I only recognize the name because he stepped down as GM of the Warriors this past year. So he was a 2-time NBA Executive of the Years. He built the Golden State Warriors. He drafted Curry.
Right.
He built that team. So I knew he was going into radio. He's going into TV, yada, yada. He's been hired by Mr. Harris, as has, Rick Spielman, who has been the VP GM of the Vikings. And I thought he was still with the Vikings. So he's bringing in a power team, Mr. Harris, to revamp the Commanders. So you're going to get a new general manager, you're going to get a new coach, and yes, indeed, you will get a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I like Sam Howell, though. I really do. And there's good pieces there.
They do have good pieces.
They
Especially,
traded away Chase Young,
Yep.
Montez Sweat. They've got draft picks.
they do.
Yep.
Galore as well. And there's some good young players there. I don't want to say Drake May, but everybody else is saying Drake May.
I don't know.
You want to hear what they say? So Garrett says, take Marvin Harrison if they were smart.
Right.
Yeah.
We wonder why the wide receivers are so undervalued.
I
They
know.
should not be. Sorry.
I know.
Michael
CB.
Orton was saying, I was baiting Lori into saying the same thing.
Yep.
You'll appreciate this, Wheels. I'm not sold on Drake May.
Thank you.
Neither am I.
Trade McLaurin for 2 picks and get a QB in the second. Garrett comes back with get Penix in the second to pair with Marvin. I
Yeah.
want Caleb Williams in a Pats uni.
Garrett has been saying for a couple months now he wants Caleb Williams, which where are the Pats picking?
3.
Third?
They could get them.
Everything is going to hinge on what the Bears
Bears
decide,
do.
though.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it really, really is. I think Marvin Harrison's the best player in the draft.
Oh, I agree.
bar none.
Yes.
So I have no problem taking
Honestly,
Marvin
I
Harrison.
think the receivers of this class are better than the quarterbacks.
Great receivers.
Damn. That's
I
saying
mean-
a lot.
And you've got a handful of great receivers
We
in
do.
this draft.
Like, this is probably the best receiving draft in a long time.
Yep.
In a very long time. I mean, I know that the quarterbacks you got May and Williams and Daniels, but these receivers, man, I'm telling you,
receivers
they
are so
are
good.
awesome.
I don't, and here's the other thing. So what if the Bears decide, we're going to go with a lower payroll. We're going to bring in Caleb Williams. Now we're going to trade Justin Fields.
Right.
And somebody's going to have to give up something. You're going to have to cough it up.
Yeah.
So where does Justin Fields go? Where does Russell Wilson go?
Right.
So you still got the veterans that are, hanging around. But I said a month or two ago, 2 months ago, when we were talking about Brock Purdy and Tom Brady and whoever else, why take a quarterback in the first round?
Yeah, you don't have
Why
to.
do you
It
have
doesn't-
to?
There's no rule.
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It
honestly.
is
It
a
is,
crapshoot.
He's and Garrett's calling May Trubisky 2.0.
Love it.
100%.
Solid.
But here we
Exactly.
are looking at a North
Exactly.
Carolina quarterback.
Yep.
God, they almost look the same, too.
Yep.
And the Bears took Trubisky with a second
Yep.
pick. And I'm like, if somebody takes Drake May, they're crazy.
I agree.
Yep.
Drake May should not be drafted in the first round.
No.
Not even close.
No.
No.
And that's all you keep seeing is Drake May. And I'm like, why? I get the Caleb Williams. I get it. But I don't know.
Yo, did you see his penthouse?
Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
I did not.
It's insane.
CB, you got to bring us a picture of
Yeah.
that.
I was like, yo, remember when college players were like disqualified for
Right.
taking money?
Right.
No more.
CBS went with a draft of the Commanders. Jesus, I do that all the time. Trading up to 1 to get Caleb Williams. I mean, we're going to see
Yeah.
10,000 drafts before
Oh, yeah.
April
Oh, yeah.
happens.
I mean, the
and
Bear-
then it
yeah.
had the Patriots moving up to 2 to take Drake May, which would make me laugh.
I would die.
I would laugh.
It's like Mac
so
Jones
hard.
2.0.
Oh my God, I would laugh so hard. And let's not forget the Bears have the 1 pick and the 9 pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Due to all the trades.
I'm telling you, they should take receivers.
They should
like-
take
Yeah.
right. This draft has them taking Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Giants taking Jaden Daniels.
I'm happy with that. I would absolutely love that. I will buy his jersey that day.
And they slid from 4 to 6 with that big win yesterday.
Yeah.
as
Damn it,
well.
just keep winning.
Damn it.
All of a sudden.
Adunzi, the wide receiver from
Love
Washington,
him.
have them going to the Jets. I'm like, no.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
That's the worst.
Dunze
And
Garrett
Garrett
Wilson.
Wilson? No
and
way.
Aaron Rodgers and
There's not
Brees
enough.
Hall
There's not
behind
enough
him?
footballs on the field for the three of them.
For the love of God.
No.
I would cringe every time the
no.
Dolphins have to play them.
No.
That would be.
So, yeah, I love nothing more than talking about the NFL draft. And I think the Arizona Cardinals are another team. They have the 4th pick and the 21st pick. There was a plethora of trades last year when Houston moved back up
Right.
to get Willie Anderson Jr. with 2nd and 3rd. So they own the Texans pick as well. So I look at the Bears and I look at the Commanders and I look at the Cardinals, and I think they're just going to change the face of their franchise.
Oh,
on
yeah.
draft night.
Easy.
The top 5 teams. I mean, we know the Chargers won't take a quarterback.
Right.
Other than that,
Right.
it's a crapshoot
Yeah.
who
Right.
they take. But the top 4 all need quarterbacks.
Right. Imagine the Bears coming out of it with Marvin Harrison and Jared Verse, who to me is the best edge rusher. So you're
That'd be
getting
awesome
to
for
go
them.
with Montez Sweat, who you traded for, and
Yep.
you're like your team. And
Yeah.
I would take Harrison, and personally, I would keep Justin Fields.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know. It's been such an up and down.
Garrett says he will completely disown the Pats if Drake May ends up in the Pats uniform. I think there's a
Best
consensus.
part.
I think that's
Yes.
a common
Yeah.
theme around here.
Best part of draft night
Yep.
is going to be who takes Drake May.
Right. Because if the
And
Giants do, we all know what's happening.
Yep.
Bonfire at my house, people.
I think that when it's draft night in April, we're gonna have to have 4 quarters. It's a Thursday night.
Yep.
We're gonna have to shift.
I think
to
we're
a
going to be live.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna have to be live at least for
I'll take-
an hour and a half
Yeah.
to see
the
how
first,
the top 10.
Yeah, the first top 10.
Yeah.
See how the top 10 plays out, and it's my favorite time of year. The same CBS draft had Michael Penix Jr. going to the Raiders
That would be.
Yep.
with the 11th pick.
I think
That'd
that
be
would be pretty fun.
That'd be a fun pick.
That would
Yeah.
be a lot of fun. Yeah, there. And Brock Bowers in this one going 20th to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay.
You know, the team that is the 4th seed
Yeah.
in the playoffs right now. All right, I digress. We're already through the first half. I do want to all my wonderful, amazing Giant friends, New York Giants.
I get
Coach
nervous every
Dable.
time she says
I know.
that.
Coach Dable said that he saw the whole coaching staff coming back together. And a couple hours before I came here, Wink Martindale stepped down as defensive coordinator of the Giants. And he is one of the brightest, if not the brightest, defensive coordinator, defensive mind in all of the NFL. My other quote here is from Giants running back Saquon Barkley, who today said that he's numb to the prospect of being hit with a franchise tag again, and added that he's skipping the team's open door policy exit interviews. I went through the whole process last year. We talked more than enough last year, to be honest. I'm going to let my agents handle that, adding that the team knows where to find him. Barkley will be an unrestricted free agent in March, and he's staring down another franchise tag from.
You can't blame
the
him.
No, I
They
don't blame
did
him
him
at all.
so dirty last year.
Oh, I like that. Did him so dirty.
Yeah. I
Like
agree.
I wouldn't mind. Like if they franchise tag him again, I wouldn't mind. I sit. Barkley, just sit.
Yep. And I love him.
Yeah, me too. He's still an amazing player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But-
100%.
and a great clubhouse guy.
Yes.
Right.
And did he miss any time this year? Did
No.
he miss it? Did he?
No.
If he did, it might have been a game or two. I
Yeah.
don't recall
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Meaning he went out there on the franchise
Yep.
tag and
Right.
did
With-
what he always does: played his tail
Yeah,
off.
that's all he does.
Right.
Played his tail off.
With the QB situation, with
Yeah.
the offensive line situation, he was still in there every single game.
Exactly. I agree 100%. I'm just going to give. I don't know if y'all remember last week I did a one and done for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And my list consisted of
The
the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I didn't know the Jags were going to choke.
And choke they
So,
did.
Oh, it was so bad.
So
a few
bad.
days later, my one and done is the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm not even going to name a third team because I love all the other teams. I love the fact that Mason Rudolph got the Steelers, and granted, the Steelers, the only way they got in, did you know that the Jags or the
Yep.
Bills
Yeah.
had to lose?
Yep.
So I'm going into Sunday going, sorry, Pittsburgh, you're
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
going.
Buffalo's
they-
not going to lose,
Yeah.
and Jacksonville's
I
not
definitely
gonna
didn't
lose.
think Jacksonville was going to lose.
Me
No.
either.
No way.
No.
Me either.
No way. So, we can look at it. We can say, oh, gosh, Tampa Bay, with their 9-8 record. But are you going to pick against Tampa Bay, against the Eagles?
You would that? Well, I mean,
That's
I
tough.
would.
I mean, we'll do
Yeah.
we'll do
Yeah.
our
That's
picks
tough.
on
That's tough,
Wednesday,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm like I could
The
throw
Eagles look so bad though,
The Eagles look
and all
So
the-
bad.
and
So
all
bad.
those injuries, man.
so freaking bad. So today is Black Monday. First coach to be fired was Arthur Smith.
We should have like the
Thank God.
who Annie Agar loves
You guys-
Arthur Smith.
Watch Annie Agar's take on Instagram or TikTok or Instagram today on Arthur Smith. It's literally the funniest thing you will see today, I promise.
She impersonated him so well
Oh,
all
it's
season
awesome.
long. All
It's
season
awesome.
long. So after 3 seasons with a 7-10 record, Arthur Smith is out. Ron Rivera, we saw this one coming, especially with new ownership with Josh Harris.
Well done.
Keep it going. The
Well done.
Commanders went from 8-1 last year to 4-13, and again, with a new owner, we saw this coming, and now Bob Myers and Rick Spielman will be calling the shots. Scott Fitterer was canned as GM of the Panthers as well. Boy, that's a see ya. We're
Yeah.
not going to give you any time
Yeah.
to build that team. And Bill Belichick says, I'm still under contract. It's too early for any decisions. But he's up for change. He also
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
I'm up for change. Whatever's best
might be
for the
time.
team.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel, it's 50-50. He'll be sitting down with Tennessee.
I really
which
like that guy.
Me too.
They would be silly to
Me
let
too.
him go.
I like him a lot.
They would be silly to let him go. So we have got the Falcons, the Commanders, the Chargers. Who else did I say? The Panthers. And there's another team looking for a head coach. And all of them are chasing Jim Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. All of them. The Commanders have already asked to speak with Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn, who are offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator for the Lions, Anthony Weaver, who is the associate head coach of the Ravens, Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator of the Rams. So the Commanders list is going to be
Yeah.
a big one.
Yep.
Tom Brady and the Raiders want a chance at Jim Harbaugh. The Chargers want a chance at Jim Harbaugh. This guy's stock, no matter what happens tonight,
Right.
has never been higher.
Do you think he wants to leave college football though?
He is. I think last couple of years, no. I think this year, yes.
Yep.
I think
do.
I think
do.
if they win tonight, he's more likely to leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think.
It's going to be open season, I think, for Mr. Harbaugh. And let's not forget when he was last in the NFL.
Yeah,
it
he
was
won.
with the Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to the Super Bowl and lost to his brother.
Yes.
But how cool was that?
Yeah, that was cool.
So fun.
I wouldn't want to be at the next family dinner, though. I don't know. But Black Monday rolls on. I ask you to, if you have a spot in the playoffs, and this has been the best question all the years I watched football, which is my
Yeah.
whole life. Do you play your studs or do you not if it's not going to change?
Well, to me, if
Like
it's
with
not going to
Laporta, like with the Lions
Right.
played
Yeah.
everybody.
Yep.
And
Right.
it really wasn't going to change.
right, then
I
I,
mean, the
say
Cowboys had
rest
to
them.
lose.
Like maybe
Yep.
play a series, maybe
Yep.
the first quarter. But I mean, look what happened.
Yeah.
But teams like, I mean, yes, Buffalo. When the game started, Buffalo was already in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they were still playing for home field. Like
Right.
you're either
That made a big
you're in the-
difference.
And the AFC East.
Yeah.
The AFC East,
Like
yeah.
nobody wants to go to freaking Buffalo in January.
Nope.
Sure don't.
So that was,
Sure
was a
don't.
huge game
Yep.
for them. Same
Yep.
with the Cowboys playing all
The
their
Commanders,
players
yep.
and the Philly
And
playing
now
theirs.
and now it's one and done. How does Philly, even though they look
Absolutely terrible.
terrible, how do you go to play? And I know it's Tampa Bay, but without AJ Brown,
Yeah.
Detroit could be one and done. How do you play without
Sam
Laporta,
Laporta. Yeah.
who has a bone bruise? What else?
Yeah. I didn't agree
There's
with
more to
Dan
that bone
Campbell
bruise,
to
a hyperextension of the knee.
play them.
Yeah,
I didn't
mean,
agree
We
with
all
that.
know Coach Campbell. He's so gritty
Yeah.
and tough. So it didn't surprise me. But then as soon as I heard about Laporta's injury, I'm like, and there it is.
Yeah.
There
It's
it
so
is.
he's so frustrating because
Yeah.
you get it, like that's his gig, man. He just goes hard, but then
Right,
like
he just
now
goes
you're
hard.
now there's diminishing returns, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
now his team is just
And
taking the brunt of it.
like these, do you think these players want to play or do you think they're like, well, coach, I'd really rather not? Like,
I'm wondering how the discussions
Right,
go before.
that's how I'm wondering,
because
too.
they must.
Right.
They're grown men.
Like
What
Travis
are the
Kelce, I'm sure
discussions?
he wanted to play. He was, 40 yards away from 1,000?
Yep.
Right.
I'm sure
Yep.
he wanted to play. Patrick
Absolutely.
Mahomes, I'm
Probably not.
He was probably pretty grateful not to get his
He-
ass
yeah,
kicked last
he's
night.
like, I'm good. I'm good
Yeah.
just sitting over
Like-
here.
Yep.
I mean, he's been running for his life all year, so
Right.
that one I understand. But Kelsey, I'm sure he had a bonus, an incentive of something.
Right.
So I bet that conversation with Andy Reid went very differently than the one with Patrick Mahomes.
I also left off with the Commanders. They've requested to interview Chiefs assistant GM, the 49ers assistant GM, and the Eagles assistant GM. Those are some pretty good organizations that
Yep.
I won't get into the names quite yet, but I tell you what, a complete facelift going on in Washington, a complete facelift. As soon as I saw A.J. Brown go down, I cringed. I'm not going to lie. I cringed. I was like, this can't be happening because I'm sorry, but Jalen Hurts, and, well, we saw how his finger looked.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can anybody make their finger?
That was
Oh, I
worse.
can. Almost. Probably.
Oh,
Close.
yeah. Pretty close.
That's pretty close,
Yeah.
CB.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done. So our 6-pack of picks is going to, the last round will be this Wednesday when we do Wild Card Weekend. But for Week 18, we had our second 6 correct picks. Back in Week 9, Wheels had all
Heyo.
6. And Week 18, believe it or not, I had all 6.
Well
I
done.
don't know how
That
that
deserves
happened.
a
Solid.
toot, toot,
I
toot.
don't know. Wheels and CB with 4 apiece.
Oh, I did better than I thought.
61, 62, 64.
Oh, no. CB. We
Yeah, I
got
know.
some. Uh-oh.
Well,
This
Wheels,
was a big week
I
for
didn't
you.
blame
Yep.
you for going with the Ravens. We had stuck with the Steelers. And CB is not happy with the Bears because you had the Bears
Yep.
as well.
I see. I thought I had the Bears too, but I must not have, huh?
You had the Cardinals, and you had the Cardinals, and I had the Seahawks.
Who won? I don't even know
Yeah.
who won that game.
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks did.
The
Freaking
Seahawks.
they
and
missed
we all had the Bills
2
and the Bucks.
field goals.
Yeah. And when Matt Prater came, are we talking the Cardinals?
Yeah.
When Matt Prater came on with that
Yep.
50, I thought he was going to hit it.
Yep.
I wouldn't have
He
been
missed
any
a
happier for
He
the
missed
Cardinals.
a 45-yarder and a 50-yarder.
I mean,
So
if I finish ahead of you, will you wear a Las Vegas Aces
I don't know.
swag?
I don't know.
All right, just think about it. We got till
Maybe.
Wednesday. What do you guys have for the fourth quarter tonight as your biggest surprise and your biggest disappointment of the NFL season now that we've made it through the 18 weeks of the regular season? And how does it go so fast?
It goes
Oh my gosh.
so fast.
4.5
Football season is
months
like
go-
that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't get it. And we talked about the Rams winning 10 games.
Yeah.
And what the drama behind that now. The Rams going to Detroit. Matthew
Stafford
Stafford
going back to
versus
Detroit.
Jared
Oh.
Goff.
I love the storylines.
I love it.
And I'm sorry, Goff was really an afterthought in that trade.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
Oh, yeah.
here, you got to get this quarterback
Yeah.
out of
They're like,
LA
suckers.
because Stafford's
Yeah.
coming in. And everyone said, oh, the Lions might keep him for a year.
Yeah.
But he settled in very well.
Yeah.
My heart, and I love Matthew Stafford. My heart's with Goff, though.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think the Rams are the hot team.
I
They're
agree.
so good right now.
I agree.
I had the biggest surprise was the Rams winning 10 games. The Green Bay Packers
Yeah.
getting into the playoffs as well. Who would have said Jordan Love's first year without Aaron Rodgers, where they had a chance to get in last year on the last week of the season,
Yeah.
I think.
Didn't,
Yep, they did.
didn't
And-
they, and then didn't they start the season with like a 3 or 4 game losing streak?
Yeah.
They
And
went
everyone
through
was like,
the,
"Oh."
the bumps
Yep.
that
Yep.
a first-year quarterback's going to go through. And the great thing is every time you watch a highlight, it's a different receiver. Like this Jalen Reed, the kid from Michigan
He's
State,
something.
is a real deal.
Yeah, he is.
But Tucker Kraft was the second tight end they took in their draft. They drafted Luke Musgrave before Kraft, and Tucker Kraft had a solid year as well. And there's just every receiver, whether it's a tight end or a wide receiver, is either a rookie or a second-year player.
That's amazing.
Talk about maturing together.
Yeah.
They're going to be, the future is bright for them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just draft on the defensive side of the ball because that's a little weak. I'm also shocked that the Cowboys won the East. I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
I'm not shocked. It was either going to be them or Philly. Like, I mean,
I thought Philly would run away with it.
Philly has to be
Because
the worst 11-game winning team.
Yeah.
100%.
By far.
Yeah.
By far.
Them and the Dolphins at this point are limping into the playoffs. I think my thing I thought Philadelphia, after they lost that close Super Bowl, I just thought they would just come back with a vengeance. that pit
And they
in the
did.
belly.
They did, but I can't stand their coach, man. That
Oh,
guy,
really?
I just
Stefanski, not a big fan. Huh?
not a fan.
Not
the
a fan.
smug look on his face all the time. Oh, I hate it. Hate it.
I think the thing about the Cowboys that I like even more is I think that Dak Prescott was a beast this year. And I'm going to give him beast mode. I really am. I want him to get MVP of the league. I really do. I know
He
everyone's
has
saying
all the
Lamar,
stats.
but I never even looked at him on draft night of fantasy football. I was like, I don't want Dak Prescott. I don't want Dak Prescott. I must have said it 10 times. I don't want Dak Prescott. I took Jalen Hurts. I'd have rather had Dak Prescott.
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
And he finished with over 4,500 yards and 36 TDs. And he just looks like a different player to me.
I mean, and he gets a lot of crap.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
Like that
He's the
guy,
quarterback of the Cowboys, right?
Right. It comes with the territory. It's like being the shortstop for the Yankees.
Yep.
Like it's the same thing.
And we were saying he was on a short string this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's, I mean, kudos to him. Like, obviously, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I have mad respect for Dak Prescott because
Mad.
he has heard it all, done it all, like, and this season he proved people wrong.
He did. And I always look at the Cowboys and go, oh, gosh, here come the playoffs. They're just going to lose.
Right.
I don't feel that way this year.
Well, their first game's in Dallas, so
And they're home. And they're
and
home.
they're home.
let's be real.
I don't know. I see a different swag to them this year. The Steelers get in, not because of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but Mason Rudolph, who they probably should have been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Pick
mean,
it. You're gone.
Yep.
I don't know. The guy's been around forever. My biggest, this is almost the one shout out I should have given is to Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Classy guy.
Yeah.
28.
Great guy.
Great guy, 28 years old, finishes with 153 yards, 19 carries, 1 touchdown yesterday.
Yeah. Isn't he
Gave
30?
the peace sign to all the fans. I do think it's his last year in
I agree.
Tennessee, but
I agree. I
you
think
know
he's
what?
30.
Oh, is he 30?
I think so.
I tell you what, I would bring him on board
Yeah,
if I'm a
absolutely.
contender.
Yeah.
Even as a closer,
As my
man.
thunder to some
Yeah.
lightning.
Like I said, as a closer,
Picture this. Golden Girls, Sicily. No. Derrick Henry and Tony Pollard.
oof.
Because Tony Pollard's not a lead back. I
No,
learned
no.
that this year. Stupid. Somebody,
Yeah.
whoever drafted him in fantasy football. So those were my biggest highs. Those were my biggest surprises. I don't know if there's any others in there.
So real quick, Colleen says, yes, Green Bay Packers, and then immediately says, hey, be nice to the Dolphins. And then Kathy Thurston says, baby got Dak, go Cowboys.
Gosh damn her.
She
I
would.
can't- For a year, we can't say anything.
I
now.
know.
I know.
We might have to block her from
Listen.
making comments on the podcast.
If she's going to call her team baby got Dak, she should have drafted Dak.
She
which
should
means
have.
she still would have won.
Right.
She still
Right.
would have won.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm just going to draft Josh Allen so she can't have him
I
next
agree.
year.
I agree.
Just kidding, my friend.
Should we say how bad the Jets were?
Shall
Because that was surprising to me because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers lasted all of 4 minutes, but
Right,
I mean,
right.
they were coming into this year probably the strongest they've been
Oh,
in a
100%.
while.
100%.
And then it was just painful.
It very painful.
I loved it. Loved
And-
every second of it.
The Dolphins did, I will say something nice. They did surprise me until the last
Yo,
3,
Tua
4
lasted
weeks
all
of the
season.
He did.
Yeah.
He
With
made it.
no concussions.
Yeah, he's
That's
the
probably
only
my
quarterback that played. I think that started.
Probably
Right.
my biggest
Yeah.
surprise.
Yep. And I will say this. I also said to you guys on Monday Night Football, this is a trap game. The Dolphins
Yep.
going to lose to the Titans, and
Yep.
they did. And then it was just,
That was the
what do
game
we do
changer.
now?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the game changer.
Yep.
And that's what happens to the Dolphins. And I hate saying that. I would love nothing more than to be sitting here going, the Dolphins won the AFC East.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's like, this is what happens to Dolphins fans. We just dangle it. Pooh, just kidding. And I knew the Bills were going to win. I just knew they were.
Josh
But-
Allen always finds a way to win. It's
Yeah.
not always pretty.
No.
I mean, he was pretty ugly. He had his ups and downs
couple
last night.
interceptions.
But
Both
that
in the
guy,
red zone?
He's a fighter. He doesn't quit. Yeah.
Did you see the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl?
Wouldn't be. What's the path look like? What is
They're
the
the
path?
fifth. Do you not want to see that game with the Houston Texans?
I think that's going to be a great game.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yep.
So for me, the Houston Texans were my biggest surprise.
Oh,
Surprise.
I love it.
100%.
CJ
For a couple
Stroud?
reasons. One, because CJ Stroud's a quarterback from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And
Oh, no, squirrel
Squirrel's
down.
like, see,
Squirrel's
he's even
like-
like, forget it.
Took Danny Manning out too.
And CJ Stroud had one hell of a rookie year, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then the three like no-name receivers that came out of nowhere:
Right.
Nico Collins,
Tank Dell.
Dell, and Brown.
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown. Who had heard of them?
Noah Brown.
And then the defense, Anderson, who they got.
Yep,
on-
Willie Anderson.
So
Jr.
they're probably going to
Yep.
have the rookie of the offensive rookie of the
Yep.
year,
Yep.
and possibly the defensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
Maybe rookie of the year coach. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
like what the future?
What a
Talk about a
season.
great season. Talk about a future, man.
And another team like the Green Bay Packers that started out slow, young team,
Yep.
trying to feel their way through, and then they're both in the playoffs.
Yep.
And you talk about the
Yeah.
receivers' wheels. We just talked about the receivers. So we could see a Texans-Packers Super Bowl. Not too far in the distant future.
I agree.
Not too
I
far
agree.
at all.
Yep.
I like that because the Texans, to me, and I was beaming when they, and I like the Colts too. The Colts were a good story this season as well with a rookie
Yep.
head
Yes.
coach.
My biggest disappointment
and the
were the
Gardner.
Bears.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I really had
If
high
they-
hopes for them.
If there was 2 more weeks in the season, though, they might have made it as well.
Yeah, they probably would have. Yes.
I do like the direction,
Yeah.
and they're keeping their coach because they were so strong the last 4 to 5
Yeah.
weeks of the season. So,
And we said that at the beginning. They're like a year away.
so next year, say it again. Say
Okay.
it again. Say
All
I'm
right.
all
as
about
long
the
as Justin
Bears.
Fields that quarterback.
And none of us called the Texans. And
No.
Nope.
again, I'd give anything for C.J. Stroud to be standing in front of Wheels and Eyes because we would apologize.
We would.
Because our running joke is Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL. And,
And Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL. Bryce Young, Mac Jones. Hello.
well, yeah, Mac Jones. That's
Hello.
a tough one right
now,
there.
if you're the Panthers right now, are you like, well, shit?
It's tough.
Basically, you're just staring at like we took the wrong guy.
That's hard to say because I think we have to give it another
I agree.
year or two.
He had more. Stroud had more weapons.
He had the offensive
Yes.
line
Yes.
too, and that's
Yes.
key for a rookie. Laramie Tunsil and company. He has a good offensive
Yeah.
line. Panthers, no.
No.
And those young receivers for the Texans that he grew in the course of the season with. Bryce Young had Adam Thielen.
That's it.
That was it.
Yep.
He had no. The Panthers, and I get why the GM was canned. They went out and gave a running back, which doesn't happen a lot of money, and it was Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Who was hurt every year until his his contract year, excuse me.
Right.
Shocking.
Contract year.
Right.
Shocking.
So you gave Bryce Young nothing to work
You
with.
gave DJ Moore. You gave him away.
And you gave DJ Moore away.
Your best receiver
For the
a
love
young
of the
quarterback.
long ball.
Yeah.
Do not, in that trade, I said, why are you giving DJ Moore away? So
Yeah.
some of the biggest, I can call them lows or biggest disappointments, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Oh,
That must be
God,
painful
it's
for you to say. I was going to
pain
say
right
that had
there.
to pain you.
Most turnovers in the AFC was by Trevor Lawrence and the Jags offense. And Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
What happened?
Who? Where is
What
he?
happened?
Yeah.
When he wanted more money, I said, give it to him.
Yeah,
Stop,
right?
Stop not giving these running backs money. And they gave him like a $2 million raise.
Yeah.
Right before
Right.
the season.
Yep.
3.7 yards per carry, a career low. In yesterday's game, 10 carries, 10 yards.
Oh my gosh.
Even I can do that math.
That is bad. That is.
10 carries.
10 carries.
10 yards.
Meanwhile, A-Chain, who nobody even heard of,
Yo,
is
he
averaging
went
over
off.
8 yards a carry.
8 yards
He
a
went
carry.
off too.
Yeah.
You know, A-Chain,
Who was the other running back?
Mostert,
No. The one that played last night. The backup.
last night.
He was fun to watch too. He had some
Oh,
nice
on
runs.
Buffalo? Was
No,
it
on
Wilson
on the-
Jr.
Oh,
Wilson.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hurt most of the year.
Yeah.
He came back for
looked
the
fun.
last couple
Yeah.
of weeks. Achan and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mostert's a free agent.
Yeah.
That happen. I mean, it won't. Miami doesn't do that. Mike McDaniels doesn't believe in paying running backs or free agency. Derrick Henry, to me, is a different animal. Bill Cowher said, I always had 2 running backs with the Steelers, and it would be like my super quick running back would play a lot in the first couple 3 quarters. He goes, and then I just put Jerome Bettis in
yep.
to finish the game out. And that's Derrick Henry, and that's
Yep.
what he can do.
Right.
He's not telling, he's not going to say to teams, you have to give me 20 carries.
Right.
Right.
But he's going to say, I'm going to punish the crap out of the
Right.
defense in
Right.
the fourth quarter when they are downright exhausted.
Right.
So I just had Lawrence and Eckler and the Chargers.
Oh,
all
the
year
Chargers.
long.
Wow.
All year long, we kept saying, what's wrong with the
Yeah.
Chargers?
Yep.
What's wrong with the Chargers? And I'm going to laugh, not really, but if a new coach comes in and turns that team around,
Yeah.
which
I think it
Could
it's a
happen.
good
Honestly,
defense.
could happen.
It's a
All
good
it takes.
offense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good defense already.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack had a career year
Yep.
for the Chargers, and somebody's going to come in there and get the most out of Justin Herbert too.
Yeah.
because the guy is oozing with talent. I don't understand. I don't understand the
yeah.
Chargers.
I
I don't
know,
understand them at all. And now that it's all said and done, I was incredibly wrong, and I'll always admit my mistakes with the Falcons too. But the name I keep hearing, and this was a lot of the ESPN inside reporters, is keep an eye, and this just floors me, on Bill Belichick and the Atlanta Falcons.
Really?
And
that
I went,
would be something.
whoa. You know, the team, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history
Yeah.
was when the Pats beat the Falcons.
Right.
Because you've got a good defense, young defense. You've got Bijan Robinson.
Right.
You've got Drake London. You've got Kyle Pitts. You're going to need to bring a quarterback in, which
Yes, they need a quarterback.
I could see a Russell Wilson
Yep.
going
Yes.
there
Yes.
for
Yes.
Bill Belichick.
Yep.
So that was the last one I heard today, and I was intrigued.
Ooh, I like that.
Intrigued.
That is intriguing.
Yeah.
And it'll cost them a draft pick, but if I'm the Falcons and Arthur Blank, he's gonna roll out the red.
He's going to
carpet
have to
as
after
well.
his debacle with Arthur Smith.
Yep.
So,
And
like, he
Bijan
has
Robinson had like 10 catches yesterday.
Yeah.
Where the heck was that all
Yeah.
year?
Yep.
to. Yep.
I'm like, oh, week 18. Now we know what to do with Bijan
Yeah.
Robinson.
Oh, let's now utilize him.
Right.
Did you see Arthur Smith at the end of the game,
Yeah.
though?
Oh, he was mad.
Shook hands with
was
Dennis
mad.
Allen.
Yeah.
That's the most emotion he's shown all year.
Thank you.
Like, come on.
Hagar would appreciate
She
that,
would appreciate
Wheels.
that. Yeah.
Oh, he was pissed.
Right.
I get. You're running the score up. Did you really?
You're
blah,
in the
blah,
victory
blah.
formation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because-
that was shady
because of
shit.
the fit.
So
Yeah.
I'm
But then the
like,
team just decided it on their own
Right.
right,
because he was calling for the.
because they wanted Jamal Williams, who had been hurt all year,
Yeah.
to get that touchdown
Yeah.
as well. But
But-
he was pissed.
Yeah.
Wheels, you just said it.
Yeah.
So most
yeah.
emotion he's shown all year.
So on top of that, though, I can't remember who it was, but one of the broadcasters said that because of the decision they made, the Saints, to run that play,
Yeah.
do you immediately release Jameis Winston because it was his decision to do it?
No.
They were like, I would get rid of him.
They
like
would, huh?
he clearly doesn't respect.
Yeah.
Well, it also shows the fact that they don't respect their coach.
No.
because the
Yeah.
coach called for the victory formation to take a knee, and they went against him that
Right.
entire
Right.
offense.
Right.
And the whole team,
The whole team.
keeps
The whole
saying
team.
they wanted Jamal Williams
Right.
to get
Yeah.
his touchdown. So
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
well, yes, that's saying that coach has no control over
Right.
his team.
correct.
Yes.
100%.
Correct.
Yeah.
So is it Jameis Winston? Is it the coach? Is it like
Were all the players in cahoots on? I mean,
Right.
is there
Right.
more
Who's
to
the lead- yeah.
peel away about
Right.
this?
Right.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
would need more information.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jameis Winston just decided to be, I am who I am, and
Right.
I'm going to call, then yes, I probably
Yeah.
would.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of Saints quarterbacks, Derek Carr did play well the last 3 weeks.
He did.
Or am I just?
I mean,
I just want to
I
find
think because he
something
didn't
positive
play
about him.
poorly. I think.
I just want to find something positive
know,
about the guy.
I
I really
really-
do.
Yeah.
And how many teams are kicking themselves right now for not bringing Joe Flacco into the
Right.
fold?
Oh, right. Yep. Oh, so satisfying.
Dude is so cool.
I know.
Yeah, cool Joe. Cool Joe.
Love him.
All right, so as we got 3 minutes to go in the show, we're going to talk all college football.
Yeah.
What are we? We're less than a half hour away from kickoff. Let's give our prediction. Because I said Washington from the get-go, I'm going to go 26-21 Washington.
Ooh.
I am. I have to stick with my prediction.
But you're not feeling it. I feel like you.
I just want Michigan to win.
Okay, that's
I do. I'm just
okay.
my heart from the get-go. I never hesitated when we got to the 4, and I said Washington.
You
I
did.
don't know
You
why.
never
I just was
hesitated.
like Washington. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's Michael Penix's year.
I know.
And I do love their coach, DeBoer, a lot. He's a pretty cool dude. He made a living as the coach from Sioux Falls. Is that North Dakota or South Dakota? Division 3. They won like he was like 100 and something wins and 10 losses.
Yeah.
And he played ball there as well, so there was a lot of tape being shown. He's a badass on the field. heck of a receiver. He plowed people over. All right, CB. What say you? Or Wheels?
Because I mean, you guys
Because
peer
we-
pressured me into pick. So I'll stay with Michigan.
Okay.
I have no idea the score. Let's go 28-24.
24.
I do think it's going to be a higher scoring game in that. You guys are right with that.
Yep.
I think it's going to come down to Michigan's defense being able to stop Penix.
I like the running backs in this too.
I do like the
Johnson
running
and
backs. I think the
Corum.
running game is going to be key. I worry about Washington's defense. That's my hesitation. Obviously, my heart is with the Huskies. I would love for them to win. I want them to win. If they don't, I won't be extremely disappointed because I do
Same
like
here.
Michigan.
Same here.
I'm going to go, with that being said, I think it's going to be Washington's year, so I'm going to go with the Huskies. I think Penix is going to he's going to go out with a bang. I have a feeling he's going to go out with a bang. So I'm going to go 31 24.
Nice.
55 points.
Yeah.
My next question was
I hope it's high scoring.
the gambling side is saying 56.5 points total tonight. Higher
Oh, so I
or
was
lower?
close.
And you were
55.
right there.
I didn't know those numbers, people. Just so you know.
Michigan is favored by 5.5, which I think is high. I would.
I knew that they were favored.
If I was a gambler, which I literally am not, I would take Washington and those points any day.
Yes.
Yep.
Any day. But yeah. So Michael Penix, 1.5 touchdown passes, higher or lower?
I think it's going to be higher.
Higher.
I think we're all going
Yeah.
higher. And Blake Corum, 102 yards rushing, higher or a lower? I'm going to go higher. I think he's going to be the...
Is there an equal? Like a stay put? Like I think he's going to get 100.
You're going lower then.
That's a tough one for me.
It is a tough one. I think he's going to go 130 or it's going to be...
I think they're going to
82.
rely on him, so I'm going to go higher.
You're going to go higher?
Yep.
CB, you good higher?
Sure.
Or lower?
Peer pressure, people. You're seeing it here firsthand.
All right, so we got 2 out of 3 going with the Washington Huskies. I can't wait to watch the game.
Me neither.
I agree with, and we've turned CB into a little bit of a college football fan.
I did my homework.
I
did my
you
homework
your
this year.
homework. And when have you been able to say in the last 5 years that you're like, oh, it really doesn't matter either way? Even though you really want the Huskies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really want the Huskies, but honestly, I just want a good game.
I want a good
Same.
game,
Yeah.
and
Same.
usually there's one team in it
Yeah.
that I go, oh my God, I can't have them.
Alabama's not in it, so we already all won.
Right?
Exactly.
So, like-
ding, ding, ding. Sorry, Garrett. Sorry,
Yeah.
Nick Saban, because I know Nick Saban's watching us. All right, we will be back on Wednesday at 5:30, where we will do a recap of tonight's national championship game, and it will be the last week for our 6-pack of picks. Not the last whiteboard Wednesday. We just might have to alter things as
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
as the weeks go by.
something fun
Hey,
to
have
do.
a great couple of days. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Be safe with the weather.
Yes.